In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Welcome to the session, dear listener. I am Jack, your narrator, and I would like to take you on a journey into stories of Warhammer 40k. But these are not the official stories that more renowned narrators than I have covered. These are stories inspired by the rich lore of this universe, by the fans, for the fans. Let us begin. Brothers in Arms by Richard Clarke. Shepsakaf loomed over the dusty red sands as they slowly swallowed the bodies of the fallen. Articulated legs scuffed the rocks beneath him as he waited, impatiently, for a report. Before him, warriors dug amongst the remains of the humans, flipping ceramides, tossing chainswords aside, and tearing off helmets. This battle was supposed to have been a rout like all the rest. How many times had he met the humans, these blood angels, in joyous combat, and cast them back to lick their wounds, to regather their strength and try again? The dance was endless and elegant. Their leader was a kindred spirit, if there could be such a thing between Necron and human. His passion for battle writ clear on his face at every meeting, his desire for victory palpable. Shepsakaf was delighted to see his billowing white cape at the head of every charge, and relished seeing it again when the humans were cast back. While the two had never spoken with words, their battles told their own tale. Across 4 worlds had they met, matching wits and swords. There was a dialogue to be found there, a kinship, glory in a battle to be sure, of fights well fought, triumphs earned, and defeats suffered. Beyond that, a recognition that a chance for something more. This was taking too long. The Necron Lord stepped down from his place above the battleground into the sands below, his advisor Menkauer following dutifully.
The Tomb World is safe, my lord,
Menkauer started. It was true enough. The Sakaran dynasty was small, even at the height of the Necron Empire. Now, they held barely a handful of worlds, not least of which was this one that once teemed with verdant life. Menkauer did not heed his master's thoughtful demeanor and continued.
These humans have harried us for so long. It is good to finally be rid of them. We can move on to better things. Our conquest can continue outward, and we can bring more worlds under your dominion.
Dominion. To stand at the pinnacle of all species, with all worlds underfoot and no peer to be found. Shepsakaf stopped in his tracks. There, whipping in the desert wind, was the tail of a white cloak. Menkauer moved to call the warriors over, but a hand gesture silenced him. The Necron Lord approached the site and leaned down, slowly brushing sand away from the fallen human. His armor was much like the rest, red and festooned with sigils of their empire. Marks of battle marred the armor as well. There, a chip from a deflected sword blow, and there a shallow hole from a thrust during another of their matches. It had gone through. Shepsakaf could see now. How much had it hurt? He absent-mindedly held a metallic hand to his arm, where a blow from a power sword had nearly sheared it off. It had taken the necrotechs quite some time to repair the damage, he recalled fondly.
Why?
The Necron Lord said softly, placing a hand on the chest of his honored opponent.
Why did you not flee? I left the southern path open to you. I spread my forces thin there, for you to better see your way through them with glory and purpose. My lord?
Menkauer inquired fawningly, a peer in name only.
The Tomb World is...
Shepsakaf exploded upwards at Menkauer, shouting,
I know! The Tomb World is safe! The Tomb World is safe! Stop and think, Menkauer! Was this ever in danger? Were we at risk of losing?
Well, my lord, A protracted campaign
would have brought us against our foe again and again for all time. Each rising of the suns to herald us into the bright glory of battle, to know them through battle, and have them know us.
The advisor dipped his head obsequiously. But it was clear, for all his centuries of wisdom, he did not understand his master in this matter.
Shall I have the necrotexts?
Menkar shrugged into the words and gestured at the body.
Trying to revive it. What? No.
Shepsakaf turned his eternal gaze away from Menkar and regarded the body at his feet again. The wind whipped red sand into small dust devils and sent them dancing across the battlefield.
Menkar.
His voice came out softly, too soft for the leader of the Sakaran dynasty.
Did you ever have any friends before all this? I am not sure I understand you, my lord. Friends, Menkar. Someone you could trust with your true self. Who knew you, perhaps better than you knew yourself. Someone who would stand by your side through any trial or trouble. You are describing me, my lord. These are services I render unto you through your indomitable will. No, Menkar. That's not...
Shepsakaf's voice began to trail off.
A friend is someone who chooses to do these things because they want to. Because being your friend means more than some arbitrary duty. Is this not something you would want, Menkar? Friendship?
A long pause existed between the two Necrons. Red sand washed up in waves against the ceramite armor of the fallen space marine. The white cloak was all but gone. Finally, the Necron advisor stepped forward, spreading his hand while lifting his eyes to the sky above.
We are masters of the galaxy, a mighty empire without peer once and again. Stars are as our playthings, and the endless void a mere babbling brook to be stepped across. Our might is unquestionable, our glory unimpeachable, our knowledge infinite.
Menkar continued, alight with righteous conviction.
Who needs friends?
He asked incredulously, lowering his gaze to regard his master. Shepsakaf lowered his eyes, looking out to the bodies sinking into the rolling red sands.
I do,
he whispered.
I do.
And so, with our story concluded, I would like to invite you to another reading at your leisure. If you're a person that prefers the written medium, then I shall share the library in which these tales can be read in the description. I am not affiliated with 40k Cold Open Stories, just a man who enjoys the tales therein. Until next time, dear listener.